Hello, Cricuters, and welcome to Cricketing with Delonda. It's me again, Delonda, and thank you so much for joining me today. In today's tutorial, we are doing something similar to what I've done before. This time last year, I made tons of those mom tiles. They look just like this. I made one for myself. I made one for all of the women in my family, and they love them. I made some for coworkers. I made some for friends. I just made a lot of mom tiles. Well, I decided that I wanted to stick with that same idea, but to do something a little bit different with it. So what I decided to do, since my mom loved her mom tile, is I decided to use some of my holographic vinyl and make a shirt to go along with her tile. So this is the shirt that I made in this tutorial, and I'm not going to hold you here. We're going to get right into materials, and I'm going to show you how I did it. So without further ado, let's get started. The materials I'll use for this project, in addition to my Cricut Explore Air 2, is a black Gildan heavy cotton shirt. It is 100% cotton. I'll use my pen weeding tool, Caesar glitter HTV. I'll also use Caesar holographic vinyl, Caesar holographic HTV. I'm using nonstick parchment paper that I purchased locally. And I'll use my long standard grip mat. So it is the one that's double the size of the regular standard grip mat. And I will be using my 15 by 15 Starcraft clamshell heat press as my heat source. However, you could also do this with your Cricut 9x9 easy press. But if you are going to use an easy press, I suggest increasing your temperature setting from 320 degrees to 350 degrees for the holographic HTV. All right, so without further ado, let's head on over to Cricut Design Space. I am in Cricut Design Space, and I'm connected to my Cricut Explore Air 2. The first thing that I'm going to do is grab the text box, and I'm going to type in the word mommy in all caps. I'm going to change my font to Times New Roman. Then I'm going to grab a square, and this will serve as my template because I know the exact size that I want and I don't want to go over in that size. I'm going to unlock it and change the width to 11.863, and I'm going to change the height to 4.0. I'm going to keep the template black because my shirt is black. I'm going to take the word mommy and change it to white because I'm using white glitter vinyl. And I'm also going to make my font bold. Okay, now I'm going to move my text. I'm going to arrange it and send it to the front of my template and unlock it and then resize it to fit directly on top of the template. And I'll grab another text box. I'm going to turn the caps lock off, and I'm going to type my name, my sister's name, and my brother's name, and I'm leaving a space in between each of our names. The next thing I'll do is go to change the font. I'm going to use a font that's called Joseph Sophia that I downloaded from dafont.com. I am going to resize it just a little bit, and I'm going to change the color of the font to red because I'm using red holographic vinyl to go on top of the white glitter vinyl. In order to add hearts to the middle of our names, I had to access the character map. You can't see that here, but I've done several tutorials on how to access the character map. And in order to access the hearts that come along with the Joseph Sophia font, you'll have to access it from the character map. Okay, I'm using the character map that's called Character Map UWP. I will leave a link to that tutorial down below. I'm using the arrow keys on my keyboard in order to connect our names. I moved my sister's name over and connected it to the end of the heart. And I also use those same keys to move my brother's name over. And once I had it exactly how I wanted it, I welded all three of our names together. Okay. The next thing I'm going to do is duplicate our names and then just move it over a little bit to the right. I'm going to select the whole thing and weld it. I'm going to duplicate that one more time, move it over a little bit to the left, and select the whole thing again and weld it. The reason I did that is because I wanted our names to be bolder, and that was the only way to really get that look. Now that I have our names welded together, I'm going to go ahead and grab the offset option. This option is not available on mobile devices. However, it is available on laptops and desktops. The size of my offset is 0.111. When it comes in, it is going to come in black, and I am going to group it and move it over to the top of the word mommy. Okay, I'm bringing the view up on my screen a little bit. And now what I'm going to do is get ready to slice this out the same way I did when I made the mom towel this time last year. I'm going to select the whole thing. I'm going to align it and center it. Then I'm going to click on the offset layer. I'm going to hold my shift key. Then I'm going to click on the word mommy. Remember, slice only works when you have 2 layers selected at a time. And then I will click the word slice. And then I'll move everything out, and I'll only keep what I need. So I can delete this, I can delete that, I can delete that. This I need. I'm going to put it in place on top of the word mommy and just move it all up. I will select the whole thing again and align and center it. Now I can turn my template off. I don't need it anymore. Double checking my size. And now I am ready to click make it. But before I do that, I just want to double check to see how this is going to look on the shirt. And I'm going to make sure that it's not too big for the shirt that I have in mind. Remember, the shirt that I'm using is black, so I want my template to be black. And I'm double checking it, and I really like the way this looks. And so now I am ready to click make it. Now that I'm on the prepare screen, it is telling me that I'm going to have to use a longer mat. I have to click OK to that. And I'm not actually going to cut this on 2 mats. I'm going to move my red layer over to the white mat by clicking on those 3 dots. And I'm going to move both of my images down a little bit. I never just keep them all the way at the top. And since I'm using heat transfer vinyl, I know I need to mirror this. Both of my materials are very thick, and I am going to choose the glitter iron-on setting with more pressure. Now that my vinyl has been cut, and I touched it to double check because I know that cutting holographic vinyl is thick, and I wanted to double check before I unload it from my machine. So I'm not wasting vinyl, but I feel confident that it cut all the way through. So now I will unload it. And I had to use tape because my mat is not as sticky as it could or should be, but I'm not going to throw it away, and I'm going to keep using it. So now I will get this weeded and prepared to be placed on my shirt. According to the Caesar heat application instructions, glitter vinyl should be pressed on 320 degrees for 15 to 20 seconds. I'm going to pre-press my garment. I'm using a 100% Gildan heavy cotton shirt. Remove the tag. I'm gonna press it for, well, I'm gonna go ahead and put my crease there, shoulder to shoulder. That'll also serve as my pre-press. 2 to 3 seconds. Or 5 seconds. Whichever one works for you. I have a crease down the middle. Now I will place my shirt back on the heat press. You can fold your design in half to also make sure that, you know, it's straight. I do not always do this. In fact, I almost never do this. I want to press the layer of glitter first, just coming down about 3 finger lengths from the top. I'm going to put a sheet of parchment paper on top and press it for 20 seconds. Ready? According to the instructions, glitter is a warm peel, so I can go ahead and peel this now. And the holographic vinyl is also supposed to be pressed on 320 degrees. I'm going to fit this right in those spaces where it belongs, where it's sliced out. That looks beautiful. It looks really good. I'm excited about this. Oh my gosh. Okay. And I am going to put the parchment paper back on top. I'm going to press this for 20 seconds. Now, holographic vinyl is a cold peel, so I'm not going to remove my carrier sheet. I'm going to take this from the heat press and place it on my table, and I'm going to let this cool down completely before I peel the carrier sheet away. Okay, I have let this cool down completely. It is not warm to the touch. It is not semi-cool. It is completely cooled off. So now I'm confident in peeling this off. And let's see. It is beautiful. I love it. What am I going to say? I love it. This is the finished product. And what am I going to say? I love it. I love it, and I know my mom will love it too. If you found this tutorial helpful, go ahead and hit the like button. Consider subscribing to my channel and turning on the bell for notifications, because I do upload new content every single week. Thank you so much for joining me today, and thanks for watching. Bye.